Enough to knock me out, but I'm still holding the throne. You'll never know till it's over. So pretty it hurts. Just beware of the thorns.
Alright, hello everybody. Today I want to talk about reasons you should fight in prison. You know, I watched videos and I've seen comments where you don't have to fight in prison, and I don't think that's true. There's been fights that I've started, that's true, but the majority of the fights I've been in have been in self-defense, and they could not be avoided. So let's get into why you should fight in prison. If you're young, especially if you're young, and you get to prison, you're going to be, especially if you're in a maximum security prison, you're probably going to be tested. This could be in a number of ways. Somebody bump into you on purpose. Somebody cut in front of you. Somebody disrespect you. Somebody may just approach you and say something disrespectful, and what they're wanting to do is see how you're going to react. Now, you could back down from this person, but what you got to realize is everybody is watching. You're the new guy, everybody's watching, and that includes the wolves. So if you back down, you don't fight, you don't take care of this, one of these wolves that's watching, or maybe even more than one, is going to swoop in. They like prey that does not fight. You know, you're like a little rabbit to a wolf or something, you know. You're just trying to run. There's going to be times when maybe somebody owes you. Maybe you're running a store, or maybe you did something for somebody, you know, did some artwork or something, or did something, and they owe you, and they decide, they just tell you you're beat. You got to handle this. You can't let somebody beat you out of money, because it's going to come back to haunt you, really. People are just going to be coming in and just taking your stuff because they know you ain't going to do anything. That's the way it has been in the prisons I've been in. Ex-cons on here, I'd like for you to comment on this if you would. Can you go through your bed without fighting? Because the fact that you can do that is just amazing to me. I don't think you can. At least not in the prisons I was in. Even when I was sent to Algoa, there was fights. You know, somebody may start a fight with somebody, and the other person has to, what's he going to do? Just take a whooping? You know? He's got to fight. Now, I'll admit that most of the fights in Algoa were started over K2, and I ain't talking about people owing people for K2 or anything. Most of them was because somebody was on K2 and just started fighting with people. And it didn't matter who it was. It could have been somebody he didn't know, somebody he did know, his best friend, guard, anybody. And you have to fight. I remember when I was at the walls, just about everybody there had to fight at one point in time. And I just can't see getting out of it, especially in that place. I remember one time I said something to somebody that they didn't like, and I didn't even mean it in a bad way. It's just made this remark, and he said I was a dead man. Well, thankfully I wasn't. But I tell you what, he knocked me into next week. But I was thankful that the guards were there, pretty close, because that would have been a bad one there. But I really didn't have a chance to fight in that one. I mean, I ducked one swing of it that he took, and then the next one hit me, and it was over. But the point I'm trying to make is, these things happen, and to him, he felt disrespected. He was offended. And he felt he had to do something. And it's just like the time somebody got mad at me over something. I can't even remember what. I don't even think he remembers what it was about, because I asked him later after we got out of the hole. But he came up and said I deserved to be punched in my mouth, and I ran my fingers across my lips and said my lips not bleeding. Well, he felt he had to do something then, and so it was on, you know. There was a couple of them fights that I started, and it was not. It was. I just don't come up and fight somebody. So both of them was something that somebody said that felt that I had to. I felt that I had to fight, you know. And that person felt he had to defend himself. Both of them. The two that I remember, anyway, they felt they had to defend themselves. So these people who say 10 reasons you should not fight in prison, or I went through my bid without fighting. Somebody actually told me that once, and I find that hard to believe that really happened. That's just amazing to me, and I give them props for that. But there's just going to be situations, especially if you do a lot of time. You know, 29 years. You think I'm going to do 29 years without getting in a fight? I don't think anybody on the streets can do 29 years live 29 years without getting in a fight. You know, maybe they can, but you're going to get into it with somebody, you know, always. And so the reasons, like I said, you'll be tested when you first get to prison, so you have to defend yourself, you know, because you got other people they see you weak and not fighting, they're going to swoop in. You got to defend yourself if you're disrespected. You got to defend yourself if you're owed money. There's even been a case where I seen a guy had to defend himself against a guard. And he felt he had to anyway. And I mean, he was just getting harassed. When I say he was being harassed, I talked about this the other day. This man was literally being harassed, and he couldn't take no more. And so he did what he had to do. He probably lost his date. But he felt, I mean, he could just, I seen all this play out over 3 or 4 weeks. And I even talked to the guy a couple of times, and it was just getting to where he couldn't take it. What was he supposed to do? You know? If you go and write a complaint, file an IR, which he's not the type of person to do that anyway, but if he had it, nothing would have been done. I'm telling you that right now. They may have moved the officer to a different location for a little while, 90 days or something, and then brought him right back. But nothing would have happened. But this poor guy, you know, he thought he had to do something. I even seen one time where 2 guards were fighting in Potosi Correctional Center. That was entertaining. I was watching from my cell. But the weird thing about that one is, I mean, they was going at it, and How the guards in the bubble did not see that, I do not know. But one of them dropped their radio. And this was before they got the radios that, when they fell on their side, that they went off. But anyway, one of the workers out there that was sweeping and mopping ran over and grabbed the radio and called for help. If that had been me, they'd throw me in the hole. This guy got a award for doing it. But I'm sure that those two guards felt that both of them felt they had to fight. But the funny thing is, one of them was a woman and one of them was a guy. And the woman was standing toe to toe to this guy. And you gotta give her props. And she was giving as much as she was getting. But these people that say that reasons you should not fight in prison, or I did my bit without fighting. The one who said he did his whole bit without fighting, I'm thinking maybe he didn't have a whole lot of time, and maybe he was in protective custody or something, or in the hole most of the time. Some people do that. They go to the hole for minor write-ups just to stay in the hole, and get out and go right back. But I can't tell you the number of fights I've been in. I'd have to try to find all my write-ups. I think I threw most of them away, but I'd have to try to find a record on that, and just to tell you how many fights I've been in. But it was quite a few, especially when I first got to prison. And like I said, most of them were in self-defense. But anyway, that's all I got for you. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.